Good morning, it's Mr. Smith again. We're going to do another exponential graphing just in case the first video didn't help you out well enough. As you can see in this problem, we have y equals 3 to the x minus 2. Before we actually graph it, we're going to find three things. We're going to complete the table, we're going to find the y-intercept, and we're going to find the horizontal asymptote. Again, if you have Mr. Behringer, please make sure you start off at -1. But let's go and get started. So we want to find out what y is when x is 0. So we have x equals 0. And we have our function y equals 3 to the x minus 2. So we're going to plug in 0 for x. So we get y is equal to 0 minus 2. And 3 to the 0 is 1. And 1 minus 2. That is correct. It is -1. So I'm going to plug in -1. And now we're going to go on to when x is 1. Oh, right on top of the tape. So now we have y is equal to 3 to the x minus 2. That's just our function here. And we're going to plug in 1 for x. So we get y is equal to 3 to the 1 minus 2. And 3 to the 1 is 3. And 3 minus 2 is a positive 1. So I'm going to plug in a 1. And we have one more. And so now we have x equals 2. We plug in y is equal to 3 to the x minus 2. We're going to plug in 2 everywhere x is. So we have y is equal to 3 squared minus 2. And 3 squared is 9. And 9 minus 2 is 7. So we put in 7. And remember from the last video, to find our y-intercept, it's just where x is 0. So x is 0 right here. So I just drew the arrow, x is 0. So we know our y-intercept is going to be 0, comma, -1. Remember from the previous video, the horizontal asymptote is the number after x. And again, since this is -2, it's going to be a -2. But we have to write it as an equation because it is a line. And remember, once we have these three things, we can go ahead and graph it. So we're going to always graph our horizontal asymptote first. We have y is equal to -2. So there's our y. We go down to -2, and we're going to draw a dotted line where y is -2. So bam, 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 and bam. So remember, the horizontal asymptote is the low point. So it's the lowest the graph can go. After that, we're just going to plot our points. So we have a point at 0, -1. So we went to 0 and -1. We have the point 1, 1. And then we have the point 2, and we're going to go up to 7. And remember, when you plot your points, you should kind of be able to see the curve going on. If you don't see the curve, then you know something is wrong. You need to either check in what you plugged in, or you need to check how you're plotting your points. But let's go ahead and connect our dots now, so we can see our hockey stick. Bam, and draw an arrow here. If you notice, I'm putting arrows at the end because it goes on forever. This one, it goes on forever that way. Just remember, our domain is always -infinity, less than x, less than infinity, and that will be for all the functions we learned and found, in Math 1. And our range is going to be the lowest and the highest that it can go. And we know the middle is always less than y less than. And our low point is what? Bam, I even wrote it there. Low point. Lowest point is always a horizontal asymptote. So we're going to write -2. Even when you look at the graph, the lowest y value is -2. This blue graph will never go below that red line. And our highest point, bam, it shoots up into infinity. So I'm going to put infinity. And that's how you graph an exponential function. I really hope this video helped.